football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Jahan, 180!
Mike 51.
Yo.
Let's see what you got. Wide, get wide.
Where's Jahan?
Check 24,
Where's that?
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check 24, check 24.
Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Jahan, 180!
Mike 56. Man, that's track.
Wide.
56. Mike 56. Right there. 56. Hey, check.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They couldn't contain Deshaun Hand that time as he gets home for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Lions will take over. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's able to find Wallace. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
At the Vikings' 47-yard line.
Set! Yellow lady!
On 2nd down. It's Johnson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Michael set! Blue 60! 22!
Single slot.
Hey, Echo!
Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
Middle!
Switch it.
Hurry! 5!
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
Jahan!
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
And an alley to run. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion.
Under 10. Watch the shift.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey, watch the slant.
On second and inches, Cousins firing quickly here, and that's complete. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 28-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12.
56 to Mike, boys. 56.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. On third down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know that. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked up by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 36-yard line.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
42 the mic. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. 42. 54. Look at him.
Out of the gun, Stafford. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shamar Stephen breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
Hey, 70! Mike 42, check. Hey, Charlie!
A shotgun snap for Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. He'll get this one to Golladay. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 17-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the Vikings 19-yard line.
Get a lady! Get a lady! We want it! Come to my work! 21! Go!
58, Mike.
You don't know no better.
Hey, 58's the mic. Go, 58's the mic.
We ain't giving up nothing today.
Here's Stafford. And it's intercepted at the goal line. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Andy!
I got you.
Wide.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Rose.
Alert 3. Watch safety creep.
On first down, Swift. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Jahan! Andy! Hey, flipper!
Check the backer. Whip.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 12.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And his kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He finds his man Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion, went just shy of the marker. Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Stafford on 3rd down. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Get it together, defense. Let's get it together.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
Watch the twist.
Big 20.
Mike 42, Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Everson Griffin has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. To try again after the sack. Stafford, this is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards the pickup there. They come out here in the eye. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Johnson in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to
there he goes, left side. The 20. And he takes it the distance. No time remaining.
No cloth on the field.
Yeah, no flags, and it's a kickoff return to end the first half.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys field it that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that's scripted. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
The current formula is not working. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll bring this this one back to the 29. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll run on first down. Swift. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
On 2nd and 12, Cousins throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Johnson, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And it's 3rd down.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13.
First down, Lions.
60.
Rip left.
Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
Easy.
3-yard line.
Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 40.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the pass.
53, ready. 61, matchbox lights.
Off of play action, here's Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
11.
To throw is Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Let's put that team on.
They'll try the left side. Swift. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he will be marked down short of the 1st as they get to him at the 29. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Hill on the return. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. On 1st down, Stafford here. They complete it to Hill. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing is Stafford. And he whips that one incomplete there. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on first down, but the defense does not budge on second and third. That one complete to Hill. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
40 got.
On first down, it's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So from the 36 now, first and 10. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Stay 50.
First down, Detroit.
32. Hey, high 7.
Stafford on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Everson Griffin racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's second and 20. Now it's Stafford. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. The Lions on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be third and forever. The shotgun snap for Stafford. And now here is another interception. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third down, Swift. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at fourth down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now on second and 13. Stafford got his man there. It's Wallace complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free. And that one is incomplete. It stops the clock now with 15 seconds remaining. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And to give this time to the tailback. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, their very slim playoff hopes get a boost as they move to 5-7. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Lions,
okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me. Maybe I'll be done so soon. So got locks, I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked, it's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it.